Hi, it's December the 1st, and this is your daily devotion. I'm sitting in front of our Christmas tree. This is the absolute earliest I've ever put up a Christmas tree, but we set it outside for a while, and we brought it in recently. And so we set it up so that the branches would fall out. It's really a beautiful tree, and last night about bedtime, I said to Timothy, "You think we need to turn it around to the best side?" And he said, "Yes, definitely." And so we turned it, and we turned it 180 degrees, 360. We turned it all the way around and back again and found the perfect spot we thought, which was where it was to begin with. And then when Timothy went to bed, I continued to turn it and prop it, because it wasn't perfectly straight, or of course no trees grow perfectly straight, but I was determined that I would make it look perfectly straight by putting shims under it and by tying a cord and attaching it to the wall. And I fiddled with that thing just like I do every year, because I'm determined that that tree is going to look the way I want that tree to look in my house, my kingdom, my rules. Well, in the midst of that, I told myself, trees don't grow this way. They're beautiful in the wild just as they are, and I need to stop this silliness and go to bed. But I have this idea that once I get the tree exactly the way I want it, I will be happy and everyone will be happy. And if I'm honest, I'm that way about lots of Christmas decorations. I love Christmas. I want it to be so perfect, and I'm determined to force my will upon it to make it that way. But if I'm in charge of that, happiness, peace, joy, it will never be enough, will it? The tree will never stand perfectly. The decorations will never be perfect. The dinner will never be perfect. I could go on, but you get the point. When I am the author of my own satisfaction, I am never enough. It will never be enough. With the tree, as with everything, there comes a time when I say, okay, it's good. Just enjoy this season and remember while we're celebrating it, and be at peace. The funny thing is, the one we celebrate on Christmas and every day, Jesus, is the one human brother that's always said God's way and not my way. Jesus never forced his human wishes and wills and desires and opinions upon the world. He always turned to God and said, "God, your will be done." Psalm 25:4, "Make me to know your ways, O Lord, teach me your paths." But God knows, Jesus knows, that since our banishment from paradise, and watch the sermon and the worship last Sunday, because there's a great story about that. But since our banishment from paradise, we human types continue to have to learn in the hardest trial and error ways that God's ways are higher than our ways. Jesus is the one brother that got it right. And so Jesus brought the way of God into our midst, even into our hearts, in spite of our OCD, in spite of our silliness, in spite of our great sin of wanting to be God. And of course, that great sin comes with a great consequence of not being able to enjoy God and the beauty and the life that God gives. But Jesus has given us a way out of that human error. That's why we celebrate so much. Philippians 2, 1 through 11. Let the same mind be in you that was in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not regard equality with God as something to be exploited, but emptied himself, taking the form of a slave, being born in human likeness. If you continue, he did that all the way to the cross and then beyond. Jesus is the way to the life and the beauty and the peace and the joy that we crave, that we're made for. So let us receive him and celebrate, even if our tree is a little bit crooked. Have a great day.